40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today we've got a
hello, new world, all the boys and girls. I got some true stories to tell. You bet.
Up for you here between the Miami Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Lance. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Lance looking to throw it. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Lance going to try and throw on 3rd down here. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's going to have the 49ers first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The Niners at 4-7 now on the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here, and it kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
And they will finally haul him down at the Dolphins' 33. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it.
Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Lance. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. To throw, it's Lance. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. And they'll go for it. Lance. And it's going to be batted down. And will go the other way with the football. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. To end the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Right back to Jalen Waddle for another catch. Tua to his Alabama teammate Waddle. 1st down, Miami. Well, he's one of the top receivers in the game, Charles, so no surprise here on the opening drive. They want to get him involved, and he has catches on back-to-back plays.
And, Brandon, I look at it from the defense's perspective. You know he's one of the top receivers in the game. You've got to find ways to slow him down because if he gets into high gear, he's going to shred you all game long.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
The point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14. This defense for the Dolphins, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are going to get it back here just past the 35. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Here we go. Here we go.
First carry for Raheem Mostert. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. A Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number, that is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Dolphins are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Point point after, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Lance to throw it. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Now an open man, that's the tight end Gesicki. It's complete, and he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 41. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And going deep for Hill. And that is caught. And the record is his. It's a touchdown. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here...
And trying for Washington, but the pass intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances. I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Looking to pass. Tua. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Wilson. Touchdown, Dolphins. Cedric Wilson from 3 yards out. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
38.
Here's Lance. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
And they'll use him out in the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
A handoff. McCaffrey running right. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Lance. Toward the sideline, and he will have the 1st down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They fake the handoff. Now Lance. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Lance. That's caught. It's James Washington. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. And Lance now to throw. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And Lance going to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Again, they'll throw it with Lance. This is caught. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
On first down, Tagovailoa. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground, incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll go option to the short side. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
From the 44, Tua. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathered.
Lance throws the interception, his third.
Picked off Byron Jones.
And the Dolphins are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Here we go. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at their 35-yard line.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Here's Tua. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. He got 29 yards that time. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football.
Touchdown! Mike Gesicki from 6 yards away.
And the Dolphins have taken a 5-touchdown lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Here's McLeod from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he
fumbled it. It's on the ground, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it. and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so, and there's your end result right there.
18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Another catch there for Waddle. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball. And
that is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead. No problem there on the extra point, and it is 42-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
Come on, set.
Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go, set.
Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. An excellent gain, 35 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
64 yards on the ground for him so far.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down, here's the option. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year and 4th overall. And the Niners are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll try and run here with Mostert. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Now a man open down the middle of the field. It's a big play there for Miami. 43 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Okay, ready?
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. That's caught. Waddle on the left side. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Tua going to throw. There, that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill from 6 yards away. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
He'll buy some time, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This offense so far on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and a mile. Lance looking to throw it. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Hill on the return. We'll call that a 41-yard punt. The net a little greater, though, following a loss on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 6 yards left on second down. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 55 rushing yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Tua finding Gesicki there for Dolphin first. Now it looks like he'll throw here. That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. One final try now for Lance. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey.